Hi, I'm Councilmember Craig Rice coming to you with another edition of the Rice Report. And today, I'm in the parking lot of Northwest High School, a place that normally would be full right now, bustling with students. But of course, because of our global pandemic, we find ourselves closed, and all of our schools in Montgomery County that are public schools are shuttered. So that means we've converted to distance online learning.
Today is Monday, September 21st.
And I really want to thank our teachers, our administrative staff, our parents and students for being incredibly patient with us as we try to stand up this new model of learning and education here in Montgomery County. The health of our students and our faculty and staff is tantamount. And so it's incredibly important for us to make sure that while we want to reopen things, we also understand that we have to have the public safety in mind. We've seen some of the lowest transmission rates in the state, and the reason why is because we've taken our time and made sure that we put health and safety of our residents as our top priority. So what does that mean? That means that we're going to ensure that some of our restaurants still can't open at their full capacity. It means that some of our businesses still remain shuttered, and it means that our schools still have their doors closed.
I'm responsible, respectful, and ready.
And that's why we have you in mind when it comes to making sure that we're making the best decisions possible to ensure Montgomery County remains one of the best places to live, work, and play.
I will be trustworthy and treat everyone with respect. I am ready to learn.
So we've had a busy summer. Even with the global pandemic, it's highlighted some of the greatest needs that continue to exist here in Montgomery County. One of those is food security. And we want to make sure that folks have the ability to be able to access quality foods in a time in which some of our grocery stores' shelves are impacted, some of our farmers are really struggling to try and put food on the table.
You get a little bit emotional, because there are people that, come 2 days in a row. Mango juice. You want water?
Yeah.
I do this every single day. And sometimes people learn about my next distribution, and I saw them yesterday, and it's, and for those people, they really need the assistance.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really want to thank all of our nonprofits in our community, both in the faith sector as well as our generic nonprofits, who have really stepped up in making sure that we're providing food for those families that need them. And we want to make sure that folks have the ability to be able to access quality foods in a time in which some of our grocery stores' shelves are impacted, some of our farmers are really struggling to try and put food on the table. And so we've come up with great innovative ways to help support our agricultural community.
More and more people now are actually coming to the farm in this COVID-19 environment to pick up the food, especially after the restaurants were closed. A lot of fruit and vegetable producers were selling to the owners of restaurants, but once the restaurants closed, we had difficulty trying to figure out how we were going to get that food to the people that had been previously had buying it wholesale. So then when the restaurants were allowed to do carry out, that's where the owners of the restaurants and the chefs would come to the farm and pick up the products, take them back to the licensed facility and make the food and do pickups and carry out in front of the restaurant.
No, one of our first pieces of legislation that dealt specifically with COVID was putting more money for MANA so that they could acquire more food, right? Now I know they get a lot from our capital area food bank, but the reality is that comes from farmers too. Talk a little bit about what that support means in terms of from Food Council and from others who are trying to come up with ways in which we can work together, the Office of Agriculture and the County Council, all coming together to try and ensure that we're meeting the needs of our community.
One of the best partnerships that the Office of Agriculture has is with the staff of the Food Council and the MANA Food Center. Those women are like an army. They are amazing. They have so much energy, and when they call me and they ask me to help them, I drop what I'm doing because I know it's going to help the farmers in the end run. So the MANA Food Center's Farm to Food Bank program is really being expanded due to your efforts with the Food Security Task Force. We have 8 farmers that have agreed to increase their production this year to try to participate more with the Farm to the Food Bank program. And so this is something that is new for us. They've always had it, but it's been a smaller scale than what we're trying to do now. So that's been really exciting.
One of the other things that we know is incredibly important also is making sure that our students, while not in school, still have something to do. We know that recreation programs in our community have struggled because we've told a lot of them that they couldn't get together. And now that we've opened up some of those restrictions on these community organizations, we need to provide them the resources so that they can outreach and grow their programs to help more kids in our community remain connected. And so the council just passed $1.5 million in additional grant resources to help community organizations and our Department of Recreation to deliver programs like what you see with Joe Hooks and the 480 Club, a football program that takes some of our at-promise youth and makes sure that they understand how they're believed in, how they have a bright future, how surroundings do not determine their future. Those are all important concepts that are taught on the sports fields throughout Montgomery County. And that's why we thought it was important for us to make sure we double down on supporting these great organizations. Our own health expert, Dr. Travis Gales, and the CDC have all said that the fall presents an opportunity for there to be a spike in COVID-19 cases. And so I ask you to be vigilant. Please wear your mask. Please social distance. Make sure that you're following all of the guidelines so that we can help suppress this rise of COVID-19 that they're projecting for the fall. And make sure, because it is the fall, that you also get your flu shot. It's going to make sure that we help with our herd immunity for the flu, and it's going to help to make sure we're not overloading our hospitals that have to deal with flu-like symptoms that oftentimes mask as COVID.
And we're really, really thankful that you guys on the council are, setting the pace for this.
Absolutely.
For getting the flu vaccines.
Absolutely.
Really important to keep everybody as safe from respiratory illnesses as we can.
So, a lot to talk about, a lot is being done, and there's a lot more that's going to happen now that we're back from recess. I want to make sure that you reach out to my office. Even though we're not in the office, we're still answering those calls and still answering those emails. So please reach out to me, 240-777-7955. Also, you can email us. It's councilmember.rice@montgomerycountymd.gov. And of course, social media, @RicePolitics on Twitter and Councilmember Craig Rice on Instagram. I look forward to talking to you, and together, we're going to keep ourselves safe. Take care, and God bless.